Vipul Pathak, Secretary IT J&K, Mr. Prem Narayan, Director, Ministry of Urban Development, Shri B.R.G. Upadhyay, Chairman, Deccan Grameen Bank, Shri Ravindranath Hebbar, Deputy General Manager, Corporation Bank, Shri Amit Sharma, Additional Secretary, J&K. Thank you very much to all of you and to the organizers and to the honorable members of this dais. I thank you all on behalf of Central Bank of India. As the turn has been given to me, so I would like to share with you as to what Central Bank has done in this regard. Central Bank is one of the pioneer banks, and in both in financial inclusion and in direct benefit transfer we have done a lot. This is glimpse where we covered in financial inclusion about 2,000 villages. We are covering throughout India, and Central Bank of India has 377 districts where we have been doing the financial inclusion activities throughout India. You will here find that Andhra Pradesh we have 101 villages, Assam 166, Bihar we have the maximum villages because Central Bank has the lead responsibilities in Bihar, Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. Chhattisgarh 76, Delhi 2, Goa 1, Gujarat 167, Haryana 96, Himachal 2, Jammu and Kashmir 3, Jharkhand 51, Karnataka 28, Madhya Pradesh 299, Maharashtra 436, and this figure goes on totaling to 3,728. Not only that, we have also covered some additional villages, about 3,728, which were allotted to us. In about 2,000 villages, we have total, as of today, we have covered 4,213 villages. This was regarding about 2,000 villages, and I would like to share with you that we have covered additional 4,471 villages, that is having below 2,000 population. We have as of today, in both these villages about 2,000 and below 2,000, 4,860 BCs working therein. We have around 41 lakh start, and number of transaction wise in the year 2011-12 we have 6.38 lakhs. Amount wise this was only 29 crores, which during the past year has risen to, transaction wise it has risen to 22.42 lakhs, and transaction wise we have crossed 154 crores. This is the diagrammatic representation of the transactions through BC model. Just you will find that from 8.27 in 2012, we have risen to 23.36 lakhs of transactions. This also includes the urban financial inclusion which we have started recently. This is one of the image that one of the ultra small branch in a village in Bandwan village of Raisan district is being inaugurated by Mr. M.B. Tansale, our chairman and managing director, in presence of Mr. P.R. Ravi Mohan, regional director RBI, Shri Rajendra Singh, chief general manager NABARD, Shri Mohan Lal, IAS district collector, and Shri Umesh Kumar Singh, field general manager. This is how our CMD has got a passion about financial inclusion. He himself inspects the infrastructure that has been made available at the village level. This is one of the branch, ultra small branch, one of the center, CSP center you can say, where CMD himself is inspecting the infrastructure which has been provided there, and whether it is working or not, this is being checked up. These are some of the very happy moments. This is the story of a laborer. He is in the farm. He is Naresh Dhakkad. This has been picked from the Gwalior district. He is Mr. Naresh. He is blind. If sun is there, he is able to see. That means in the daylight he is able to see. He works on the farm. He is not having any time to go to the either of the CSP center. Here, our banking correspondent agent in this village, Badagaon Jagir, he is a good person, Hakim Singh, and occasionally he goes to the village to collect the money or to give him the money. This is the way of the technology providing services in the field. Here you will find, I checked this myself itself. Mr. Rakesh is there who is standing alone with the auto, then who is wearing this dhoti lungi. He has been given one auto loan. He is handicapped. He is not having one leg. But still he is able to ply this auto to earn his livelihood. At one time, Mr. Rakesh, he had in mind decided to commit suicide. Fortunately, it came to the knowledge of central bank people and their BCs. Then central bank helped him, gave him an auto loan. Now he is plying this auto commercially and he is giving bread and butter to his family and repaying the auto loans also. Then, as this conference you have been taken at Andhra Pradesh, in Andhra Pradesh, this is the Andhra Pradesh diagram where Central Bank of India is doing financial inclusion. This is our state of affairs. I already told that we have been lead bank in Madhya Pradesh, in Bihar, in Rajasthan. In Andhra Pradesh, we are not having the lead responsibility. But still, number-wise, you will kindly find that here also, we are having 101 villages and we have crossed 68,000 accounts here itself. And yesterday I have been told by the in charge over here that they have crossed 1 lakh accounts. And amount-wise, we have crossed in this 3 months 1.29 crores. Then this is the transaction through BC. Of course, I already told that we have crossed 1.29 crores of transaction. This is diagrammatic representation of the transaction through BC agents. This now, let me come to DBT. What is DBT, which is the main source, which is the main issue as of today also. DBT mein, this is the process flow, how a BC, how a banking correspondent agent collects the money or delivers the money. Then he either takes money from cash, from the bank itself, or deposits the money in bank. Then this, as the moment this banking correspondence transacts, that financial inclusion service provider server is updated, and simultaneously the bank server is updated, and entries performed by the BC for his beneficiaries or for the customers of the banks are updated in the bank's record. Then this is another system where the bank has already developed. Bank is, Central Bank of India is already AEPS alive and APBS alive. Through APBS, bank can receive thousands and thousands, lakhs and lakhs of transactions at any moment. Bank is capable of that and we have already done it. This is all G2 payments into one account can be transferred. These are multiple schemes, government department, various government departments. They can approach any of our branch. Their files can be uploaded within no times, and through Aadhaar payment bridge system or through CPMS, money reaches to their account within no time. This is the process flow that any number of branches, they can do it, and as a sponsor bank, we have been rendering these services wherever we are the lead banks. Branch 1, branch 2, branch 3, any number of branches, they can upload. These files are downloaded at NPCI. NPCI then effects the RTGS, and then our account with RBI gets debited or credit, and the files are transferred to the destination bank. These are the steps which the bank has developed practically. Step 1 is there. Input file is submitted by various branches to service branch. We have kept the time, it is 12. Then second step is that service branch of the sponsor bank will upload the input file in NPCI portal in presentation session. Cut-off time is 12:30. Then NPCI processes all input files and converts it into inward file for corresponding destination bank presentation settlement section. During this session, RTGS is initiated and sent to RBI. As a result, RBI DAD account of banks get affected. Step 4th we are following. here in this session, all destination banks download their inward file, process in their CBS system, and generate the return file, and same is uploaded in NPCI website in return session. NPCI processes all the return files and converts it into response files for corresponding sponsor bank in return settlement session. During this session, RTGS initiated and sent to RBI. As a result, RBI DAD account of banks get affected. And the last step, sponsor banks then download the response file which states the fate of each and every transaction and send the same to the originating branches. This is how the process is followed, and you will kindly notice that the moment the files given by the various government departments, they are given to the various branches, they can be loaded simultaneously. 1,000 files can be uploaded, and 1,000 and late entries can take place at any moment of time. Then Central Bank of India is APBS live since 1st of January, whenever was required. Up to March, we had received 1,148 records, amounted to 75.8 lakhs, out of which 14,900 these transactions got processed, and only 198 transactions got rejected due to various reasons by the system. In this quarter, April-June quarter 13, another 31,329 records were received, amounting to 2,80 lakhs, and transactions were processed for 30,676 records, and only 653 rejected. You will kindly find that rejection percentage is very, very low, and rejection by the system is not there. It is because of if wrong Aadhaar number is there or anything is not matching. Otherwise, rejection rate is almost nil. Where APBS is not available, where Aadhaar is not there, then banks take use of CPMS. Then various issues they have come, how the bank has addressed these issues while doing financial inclusion. One thing bank has done, that one of the common problem that BC, banking correspondent agent, they were not getting the salaries. So bank has fixed the remuneration that every TSP, technical service provider, will have to give a salary of 3,500, and 500 rupees will have to be paid as convenience. Then bank on its own behalf has given the work of BFs, business facilitators, so that they are able to generate enough commission from the business of the bank, and they remain with the bank. Then regular meetings are being conducted by regional managers and branch managers and executives visiting from central office. Then regular training to seek their involvement and fair treatment. We take them as our business partners. Then another problem which has been faced and which everybody is facing, every bank is facing, that most of the accounts, they go inoperative once the transaction, 2-3 transactions or benefit of transactions are taken place. To make those account lives, we have given this solution. We conduct awareness campaign and infuse financial literacy through our 46 RCTs and 50 FLCCs. Bank has 46 RCTs and 50 FLCCs. At FLCCs, we have trained more than 1,09,964 participants in 1,666 program in this year, and in RCTs, we have trained 16,103 participants through 514 programs. We are channelizing government benefits through the accounts opened through BC model. We have designated customized products like Cent Smart RD, which suits the need of rural customers with seasonal variable income. Then we are also ensuring that the services rendered by our BC agent, who is in the field or who is at the rural level, he extends the quality of service. For that, our technical service providers, they have been advised to impart continuous training to the BC agents with updated information about product, services, etc. Banks, zonal staff training centers, they are providing training to BCs. Then we are also providing training to these people on interpersonal relations, Then frequent meeting with customers by designated officers, base branch managers and visiting officials to have feedback about the delivery of the services by BCA and to take corrective action. Then frequent changes in technical requirements. Of course, the frequent changes in technical requirement which have been happening, they have been proving little bit hindrance sometimes. Of course, when they take off, then speed picks up. Take for example, these micro ATMs. Micro ATMs have been upgraded very recently. From 1.5 version, they have been made to be required 1.5.1 version. So, at this juncture, not so many suppliers of these machines are available in the market. Another thing that the TSPs, technical service providers, they are not able to invest money in that. They are finding it difficult. Due to the issue of high cost in replacement and issues of logistics, the delivery of upgraded version of HHDs are delays. Then broadband connectivity, this is also a real issue. Lesser connectivity in the villages prohibits online transactions. We want that every transaction should take online, and that is the government motive also. Government's desire has been that online transaction should take place, and that also with interoperability, that any bank's customer is able to take the benefit from other banks' delivery channel. So this is on the way. I am sure that this will soon see the light of the day, and as far as Central Bank of India is concerned, we are already AEPS alive. We have already made payment through AEPS at Hoshiarabad, at Amravati, at Ambala, and we are going for other districts also. This is the brand of this one of the small branch, ultra small branch in a village. Here what we are doing, that we have implemented the area of shadow area concept, that wherever our center is there, we put up the map at the branch, at this small branch, that how many villages around this branch, this small branch, can visit this one. This map you will find, this is behind the victory signs. Then, as far as Andhra Pradesh is concerned, Andhra Pradesh is having lot of potentials, and as far as DBT is concerned, perhaps Andhra Pradesh has the highest districts. In first place, Andhra Pradesh has 5 districts, that was Hyderabad, Anantapur, Chittoor, East Godavari and Rangareddy. In second phase, again Andhra Pradesh has received the preference. Shri Krishna district, Shri Kullam district, Krishna district, Guntur, Adilabad, Kudapaha, Vizigram, Kurnool and Nalgonda. And as far as this gas subsidy transfer is concerned, here also again Andhra Pradesh is having 5 districts. So Andhra Pradesh has got very good potential and very good scope for high version of DBT transfer. Here lot of things are being done by the government, every department, everybody is doing his best. But still we have lot of distance to reach the way. Here I would like to mention that not only in India, the problem of financial inclusion has been in the world itself, and almost say 45% of the people in so many of the countries, they are not having any financial inclusion. Accounts are small accounts, you can say in your language. And in developed countries also, the position has been this in the previous 50 years, 40 years, 30 years, and those people also started with such type of accounts. Here in India, at present, we are having 42% of the population which requires to be included as far as financial inclusion is concerned. Of course, here 3 things are there. First thing is financial inclusion, second thing is financial literacy, and third thing is consumer protection. Until unless we profess all these things together, we may not succeed. Why financial inclusion? First, I would like to stress, first of all, everybody should have an account. so that what the government is thinking, that whatever the government wants to transfer, that is delivered to him directly without any hassles. Then why financial literacy is important? Financial literacy has become an important part of financial inclusion. And financial literacy is not only important for small people, the people who are economically backward or the people who are unbanked, but this financial literacy is needed for all of the people. I would like to remind you of the 2008 meltdown, where, of course, those people, they were not financially illiterate, but they were not having the right kind of knowledge which was required. They went on leveraging that subprime subject too much. So they were not knowing that what can be the bad effects of high leveraging also. Thank God that the financial system has not lost the confidence, otherwise it has got a major effect. And again, thank to the God that India was not affected. So this was one of the system. Then second thing, here in India, why we need it? You will kindly find that we are having at present too much of current deficit. We have been investing much more in other assets than the financial assets. We'd like to go for gold, we'd like to go for real estate, we'd like to go for land purchase, we'd like to go for much more things for speculative purposes than for earning purposes. So this is one of the reasons that our current account deficit is too much, that we are not saving for financial assets creation, which can be put into production and then the economy develops. This is one of the reasons. So financial literacy is required. Third thing I was professing, that was of consumer protection. Today we have been talking of 42% people that not having any bank account. That means they are not having any confidence in the system. Still they are sticking to the informal system. Until unless we bring some policies for their protection, until unless we generate their confidence and we have the transparency in the system, we have the helping nature in the system, so we may not be able to attract them to open the account also. So consumer protection is a must for confidence generation. This is the another point which I wanted to raise to make it a complete system. Of course, lot of infrastructure has already been created and it is available. Now what we need, of course, that the task in a country like ours with large population and geographical spread is indeed challenging, very challenging. Then considering enormity, this enormity, what is needed, that is the combined willpower of the society, I would like to stress upon. And I would like to say all stakeholders, including policy makers, regulators, state governments, district administrations, IT solution providers, software and hardware vendors, civic society, media, and public at large need to come together and to pool their collective efforts to win this situation. Another thing I would like to say, that we have been complaining of so many deficiencies in the system. I think we should not now, enough infrastructure is there, now we need to work. And I would like to say here in this, I would like to quote that the tools in our toolbox, they are not always adequate to the complexities of the modern world. But working those tools with refined methods, we can marshal the problems. Thank you very much.